Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel where we talk about everything mental health, relationships, parenting, and healing, particularly for women, mothers, and birthing parents. If you're new here, my name is Keisha and I am a licensed therapist and social worker and the owner of Bright in Every Life Counseling Services. I am passionate about working with women and moms, particularly Black women and moms, and helping them to find healing, balance, and empowerment. Today, we're diving into a topic that I love to discuss: healthy relationships, or more specifically, how to overcome unhealthy relationship patterns. So many of us have had poor modeling of healthy relationships in our lives. We may have no clear concept of what a healthy relationship even is. We may be carrying unaddressed trauma and pain into our relationships and struggling to feel fulfilled in the relationships we choose. If you are in and out of relationships that leave you drained, depleted, and disgusted, finding it hard to meet people who don't mistreat you, or noticing patterns where you may actually be the problem, in this video, I will provide 5 meaningful tips to help you to overcome unhealthy patterns in your relationships. You ready? Let's get into it. Many of my clients started therapy with me because they needed support as they navigated or healed from unhealthy, toxic, or even abusive relationships. Since my days as a domestic violence counselor over a decade ago, I have been extremely passionate about educating people about the difference between healthy and unhealthy relationships. In the last 10 years or so, I have become trained and licensed to support people with overcoming their unhealthy and unhelpful patterns. So for you, the cycle stops today. Here are my 5 tips for you to overcome your unhealthy relationship pattern. Tip 1, strengthen your self-esteem. Unhealthy relationship patterns often start with how you see yourself. If you struggle with low self-esteem, you may find yourself settling for less than you deserve. But there are times that I have clients who come to me and tell me that they believe that they have a high self-esteem and that they're worthy of healthy relationships, but they continue to make unhealthy decisions in intimate partner relationships. This could be an indication that there may be a smaller part of you that questions whether you're worthy, questions whether you're lovable, or questions whether you're desirable, especially in cases where you may have had multiple failed relationships or survived narcissistic abuse, or had some unhealed disconnection, rejection, or abandonment experience at any time in your life. Take time to build a healthy relationship with yourself first. I know what you're thinking. Girl, I already got a relationship with myself. I'm trying to get a relationship with him. What is the problem? I get it, but I'm telling you to take time to reflect, restore, rest. This is the time to connect with yourself, to become clear about what it is that you need, you want, you value in your relationships. And when I'm speaking about needs, I'm not talking about, oh, I need me a man who's 6 feet tall and got pretty teeth. That's not a need. It's maybe a strong desire of yours, but that is not a need. When I speak about needs in healthy relationships, I'm speaking about qualities and characteristics about that person, how they treat you, and how they show up in the relationship. Start to develop trust in yourself by making decisions based on your values, your needs, and your desires. Stop sacrificing those things just to be in relationship. Also, be honest about the part of yourself that struggles with making the healthy decisions and prioritizing your needs. Journaling, for example, can help you to identify the thoughts that are getting in the way. The thoughts that you try not to think, those thoughts. Start acknowledging the thoughts and respond to them with compassion and affirmation. Remember, when you value yourself, you're more likely to attract people who value you too. Tip 2, understand your attachment style. Are you familiar with yours? Take a moment to go find out what kind of attachment style you have. What is an attachment style, you say? Hear me out. Our attachment styles fall under one of two categories, either secure or insecure. Insecure attachment can be anxious, avoidant, or disorganized. Our attachment style can deeply influence how we connect with others. If you notice patterns like being overly clingy, jealous, avoiding intimacy, fearing abandonment, take a step back and reflect. Learning about attachment styles can help you to understand more deeply why you behave the way that you do in relationships. Our attachment styles are developed early in life. They're developed by how our primary caregiver, sometimes our parents, how they treat us, how they act toward us, and how they meet our needs. And our attachment type often remains the same over time. But the good news is, it can change. It can be changed into more secure forms of attachment through self-awareness and resolving the attachment issues. Cue in your therapist. Finding a therapist specialized in attachment can be very valuable for you on your healing journey. This is a perfect segue into my next tip. Heal past trauma. Unhealed trauma can show up in relationships as mistrust, fear, or even repeating cycles of abuse. Sis, it is crucial that you start to identify and heal those wounds so you don't carry them into your future. Some of us may not be clear if we've actually experienced trauma. For many of us, our most distressing moments have been overly normalized and suppressed for so long that we don't even categorize it as trauma. Truth is, trauma can be any experience that was distressing or difficult that changed or influenced the change of how you see yourself and how you see the world around you. Like standing in front of a classroom at the age of 8 and all of the classroom laughs at you. That could be someone's trauma. That can cause someone to believe that they're not worthy, that they're embarrassing, that they're foolish, and create core beliefs, create beliefs about themselves that are unhelpful and maladaptive, meaning they don't adapt. They don't help you as you navigate the world around you, and they become barriers to you doing the things that you want, desire, and care about. We therapists consider this complex trauma. These experiences can impact you well into adulthood. Check your unhelpful thoughts that you should be over the experiences you've had earlier in life, that it was such a long time ago, it shouldn't be bothering you now. If that memory feels like it happened yesterday, or it's bringing up feelings for you, difficult feelings for you to manage, or you're actively avoiding thinking about those thoughts, I just don't think about it, I try not to think about it, or the thoughts that it's not a big deal, it happens to everyone. Isn't this normal? Everyone experiences this. That could be trauma, and you can heal it. Now, this might feel overwhelming, but healing is possible. Working with a licensed therapist, especially one who specializes in trauma, can be life-changing. Remember, your past does not define you, and healing is an act of courage. Tip number 4, recognize the red flags and the green flags. Now, I know y'all heard about those red flags, but even though we may know the red flags, they may be hard to spot and identify. When our emotions are involved, we might just overlook it, justify it, or just plain deny it. Let's talk about it. There are plenty of red flags that we should be paying attention for. For example, controlling behavior, emotional manipulation, lack of accountability, etc., etc. Some may be less clear or more nuanced, like love bombing, gaslighting, things like that. But red flags are not cute. You need to understand them, and you need to know how to identify it. And girl, when you see them, believe them. There are no two sides to a red flag. It is still blaring red. Trust that. There is no amount of prayer, grace, or compassion or patience that's going to change a red flag unless the person who's demonstrating the behavior is aware of it and willing to do the work to heal it. I could spend an entire video on this topic, and I might. On the flip side, there are green flags to look for in relationships too. We may be familiar with the red flags, but many of us may not be as familiar with the green flags. We don't know what to look for. We just know what we don't want. Green flags can include healthy communication, mutual respect, emotional safety. The list goes on. I can also do a video on that. A green flag is not that the new person doesn't have a red flag the last person has. That is not a green flag. What you are likely doing when you're comparing your current partner to your last partner and saying, well, they're not doing that thing that the last person has done, we may be overlooking all of the red flags that are currently present. Please pay attention. Take your rose-colored glasses off, plant your feet firmly on the ground, and take heed to these signs early on in relationships. Don't ignore your gut feelings. It's often trying to tell you something important, something you need to know. Finally, tip number 5, please don't hesitate to seek professional support. Therapy isn't just for crisis moments. It's a space to grow, gain insight, and learn healthier ways to relate to one another. A therapist can guide you in breaking patterns and cultivating the fulfilling relationships that you deserve. If you're ready to take the next step, I will leave some resources for you in the description box for you to get started. PSA, if you are currently experiencing domestic violence or intimate partner violence, I encourage you to seek professional support. Domestic violence or intimate partner violence should not be taken lightly. It is progressive. It only gets worse. If they will yell at you, they will slap you. If they will slap you, they will punch you. If they will punch you, they will kick you. If they will kick you, they will stomp you. If they will stomp you, they will kill you. Since this video started, at least one woman or girl has been killed by their intimate partner. Please seek the support that you deserve. Thank you so much for watching. I'm hoping that these tips were helpful to you. If they were, please do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more helpful content on mental health, parenting, relationships, and self-love. Let me know in the comments, what's one step that you're going to take to break free from unhealthy relationship patterns? I really want to know. Until next time, be gentle with yourself. I'll see you in the next video.